Hello, this is Kale, and welcome to a very special episode of the Kale Scale. This month, and particularly this week, is a very special anniversary. It is the 25th anniversary of the Power Rangers franchise. So I have decided to review and watch all three of the theatrical releases, starting with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, 1995. Okay, where to start? It does feel like a bigger budget version of the show in good ways and bad ways. They got all the cast from the show. That's really nice. No, like replacing them with celebrities or something. It is a very 90s movie. Not dated in a bad way, kind of in a good way, like it reminds you of the 90s. The basic plot is the Power Rangers have to stop a new villain, Ivan Ooze, which is one of the most interesting things I've ever seen. He is portrayed by... let me see. It is nice to have the cast back. I'm glad they did that. It is Paul Freeman as Ivan Ooze. You might know him from Raiders of the Lost Ark and Hot Fuzz.
What? Who was he in?
He was Reverend Philip Shooter.
Hey!
In Hot Fuzz.
No! Jesus Christ!
He actually does have a long acting career, it's just he doesn't get credited a lot. He's the best part of this movie. He is just enjoying himself. He plays like kind of a showman, kind of. It's weird. Like, he acts like he's at a carnival all the time. He's kind of like a clown. It's weird. Basically what he wants to do is, first he kills the Power Rangers mentor, Zordon, and then he mind controls all the adults of their town to help him build these two giant monsters to take control of the universe. Then the Power Rangers have to go get new powers on an alien planet. They get all new animals, and it's where my favorite line of the movie comes in. You know, you got your typical, like, oh, you get the falcon spirit, you get the bear spirit, and then one of them, you get the frog spirit.
Adam, what's wrong?
I'm a frog.
And then they end the movie, like how every Power Rangers thing should end, with a giant robot fight.
Yes.
Only problem with that is they use terrible CGI for it.
I've actually seen that clip and it looks terrible.
It is. They had better CGI at that point. And with Power Rangers, you use suits for that. They get suits and do it like Godzilla style. That's the point. They could have done that for this. But this was
it fast?
It was bad.
No, like, was it fast paced or was it slow?
Kind of fast paced. Because while the rest of the team is fighting Ivan Ooze, Tommy has to go off by himself and save a train full of kids. Because as the adults are being controlled, the kids just decide to have a party. Because no adults!
Yeah, like the Jimmy Neutron movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then one kid, who's the annoying side character that they have in these kinds of movies, 90s movies, he has to go tell the kids that they need to go help their parents. And the movie gets really dark for a second because Ivan Ooze tells the parents to jump to their deaths, and they just walk to go jump to their deaths.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, like they're gonna just jump into a pit and end it all.
That's
But
fun.
the kids spray them and it's fine.
With what?
Water. Like, just to get the ooze off. There's also, they do most of their own stunts, that's good. They have good wire work. The fight scenes are really good. The movie costumes are okay, they're a little too bulky for me. And all the actors skydive for this movie. That was cool.
Why?
Wow.
The opening scene is them skydiving for charity.
Oh.
Power Rangers had a lot of that. Like, they don't know how actual teenagers act. All the teenagers in the show are always doing something for a charity. So, skydiving for charity.
No, the skydiving, working out, doing yoga, or fighting monsters. That's all I've seen Power Rangers do.
Well, it's martial arts, not yoga.
Martial arts, fine.
Yeah, Joe.
They had fun with it. Like, all the actors seemed like they were having a good time. Ivan Ooze, Paul Freeman, he was just having a blast. I don't know, overall, I'd rate this movie a 5 out of 10. This is the second Power Rangers movie released. Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. I watched this movie so many times, I have it down by memory. And rewatching it wasn't the best. Okay, where to begin? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, okay, first you had the original Power Rangers, and they had their powers, and it was dinosaur themed. Cool. Then they had Power Rangers Zeo. They got their powers from a magic crystal that always made them stronger. And to follow that up, cars. The next big power was cars. This movie is just like a really long episode, and it's the first episode of the season. The basic plot of the movie is that a wizard has landed on Earth, and it looks like a shaved Ewok, and his name is Larigo, and an evil space pirate wants to get him so she can open up a magic portal and go and get a demon. You have the same cast again, which is good. But in this, one of the Rangers in a fighting competition for charity breaks his back pretty much, and so he can't be a Power Ranger. So to replace him, Zordon, the great space wizard he is, gets a 12-year-old kid.
Is he annoying?
No, he's actually fine. Yeah, they just let him be a Power Ranger, because why not? You know, who cares? If he dies, they don't have to notify his parents or anything. So it's just the original cast plus a 12-year-old kid that have to stop the evil space pirate Divatox. It does some things better than Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I mean, it's basically because it's just a longer episode, but the costumes are nice, they're not bulky, and they don't use CGI for the robot. I mean, they have lots of good practical effects in this. They made their own suits for some of the monsters they fight. It would have just been better if they hadn't have transitioned from cool suits and powers and mythical to cars. Just cars. There's not really much to say, but overall, it's a 4 out of 10. Power Rangers 2017. Just to start off, before I just tear into this movie, the things I like. The cast is actually pretty nice. They feel like they work well off each other. I kind of like them. I don't care for Becky G, but that's entirely subjective. Bryan Cranston as Zordon is terrific. I love that. He was in the original Power Rangers, so it makes sense. Bill Hader as Alpha is great.
He's so funny.
He's just having a ball. Elizabeth Banks as Rita is, she does okay. Like, I can't fault her.
Was she before or after Hela from Thor Ragnarok?
This was made before. So.
And
I don't
also
remember.
a different actress.
Well, I know, but they looked and acted kind of similar. Except for
Power Rangers came out at the beginning of 2017. Thor Ragnarok came out at the end of 2017.
I don't remember if they came out. I don't remember.
Anyway.
I don't remember Power. No, I'm just. I don't know.
Joe, shut up. He's trying to scale things.
Yes, all the things I don't like. This movie is just very bland in its design. The Power Ranger suits, I will give it that they did do the colors right. They are colorful, like they should be. But the suits are just meh. You look at the originals and they have good design. The helmets are nice and the colors match. These are just weird, kind of Iron Man, unfinished junk suits, and I don't really care for them. Some of the helmets are nice, but everything else is just a mess. Their Zords are pretty bad. Like, you can't even tell what the animals are really supposed to be, because they gotta shove on as many extra legs and guns as they can for whatever reason. It tries really hard to be a teenage movie, but some of the stuff is really stupid. The Rangers have to share secrets, and one of them can't share her secrets, and her secret is that she shared someone else's nude, and that's why they can't become Power Rangers. The others are pretty basic. Trini is gay. Billy doesn't miss his dad as much because he's found new friends. Zach, his mother is dying and he's scared of what would happen afterwards. Jason doesn't have anything because, as he says, everybody knows me. He's just a screw up. He steals a cow. Basic plot of the movie is that the Power Rangers become Power Rangers and they have to stop Rita Repulsa from forming a giant gold monster and ripping out a crystal in the earth that gives the earth life. And it just so happens that this all-important crystal, the Zeo crystal, which is a good Power Rangers reference, I appreciate that, is under Krispy Kreme.
Yay!
Because product placement. It's like in National Treasure where they say we stole the Declaration of Independence, but it's in Krispy Kreme. There's an entire scene where they have to get to the Krispy Kreme, and almost every character says Krispy Kreme at least once or twice. Like, we gotta protect the Krispy Kreme. I'm going to the Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme.
They also played the original theme song at one point.
When they're charging in the battle. That was a nice touch. I do appreciate that. The soundtrack in this movie and the score is actually pretty good. I'll give them that. The giant monster is called Goldar, and that's a Power Rangers thing, but it doesn't really deserve to be because it's just a giant hulking mess of melting gold effects. Goldar on the show is a blue monkey with golden armor. At least that's something distinct. This is just a mass of melting gold. Then the Power Rangers are fighting Goldar, and then they are pushed into a pit, and that's when they form the Megazord, and it is the worst looking thing I've ever seen. Not as bad as Mighty Morphins, but at least that had a design. This was just, and all the Rangers were on the outside, so they could have been killed very easily. I don't care for much of the designs throughout the entire movie. I'd say the only one I like is Alpha. They did do a good job on him. And then Rita's foot soldiers, the putties, those were cool. just made of random junk on the street. I like the cameo from Jason David Frank and the woman who played Kimberly Hart. They were in the crowd. That was nice. And they seem to think that they're going to get a sequel.
They thought they were gonna get like 4 more sequels.
Yeah.
He thought they thought they were turning this into a franchise.
There isn't really much to say. I do like some of their takes on it, like that Zordon and Rita were Power Rangers, but then Rita wanted too much power, became evil. Overall, I'd give it a 3 out of 10. I would like to see one more, just so they could have the Green Ranger and I could see the cast again. Because as I said, the cast is the only thing I liked about this movie.